Hello and welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I posted my last one, the Lin Min May video, but I had some off-camera duties that required a lot of attention. As some of the older subscribers may remember, I mentioned in my past videos that a couple of years ago I was diagnosed with cancer and I had to undergo multiple surgeries and radiation therapy. Fortunately, they were all successful and I've been cancer-free ever since, but periodically I have to perform complex checkups to make sure it's not coming back again. So most of February was spent like this, from CT scan to ultrasounds and blood tests, and with consultations with my doctors. It's always kind of a stressful period because you never know what the results will be. Cancer is such a sneaky bitch that it often does not have noticeable signs. Luckily, everything was fine, so we are good for a couple of months again. Oh, and one more thing, if you hear some construction noises or workers shouting in the background, there is some work going on in the flat below me and it's so loud, but I can't really do anything about it, so sorry in advance. So how are you today? I'm well, but I'm tired. But I wanted to make sure I upload this video as soon as I can. Our subject is Sailor Neptune, of course, as you have seen by the title. This is a resin recast figure from E2046.com, in great condition as usual, with 2 sets of ID calls and, to my annoyance, a couple of clear resin parts. You might remember me saying that I hate working with clear resin, and that still hasn't changed. I understand that it gives a different aesthetic to the figure, but it's so much harder to work with. In contrast to the Uranus figure, I decided not to keep the base clear since I had so much trouble adding painting to it. I primed and painted it like the rest of the parts, and in hindsight it looks so much better than the Uranus base. Anyway, after unboxing the kit, I did my usual inspection, cutting away the little casting stops, but during the process, I managed to break a part off of one of the legs, which I had to repair with Tamiya smooth surface putty, which turned out to be great. I couldn't notice it later during the painting, which was the repaired one and which wasn't. For the base coat, I use my usual Vallejo primer in Desert Tan color. For the detailed list of the colors, I recommend checking the description box down below. This is actually one of the very first kits I bought from E2046 because she and her pair Uranus looked so beautiful on the promotional pictures that I desperately wanted to have them. I've kept them on the shelf for a long time though because I didn't feel confident in painting them. I thought I would ruin them with my lack of skills, so I kept delaying working on them in hopes I would gather enough knowledge to be worthy to paint them. I have a couple of figures like this, like the 3 lights from Sailor Moon 2, who are also very unique, but I will definitely paint those 3 this year too. If you've seen my other Sailor Neptune kit painting video, you might recognize the colors. I deliberately used the same color scheme as with the other one. The link to the video will be in the top right corner. I wanted to compare them later, how they look next to each other. The colors for the skirt and bows were mixed, but for the hair and the base I used the same shade I bought for just this purpose. It's such a beautiful teal color that I immediately fell in love with it. I added a coat of Greenstock World's Colorshift Metal Celestial Azure to add a shimmering layer to it. I was tempted to use it on her dress too, but that would have been way too much out of character. I kinda wish I had the combined base for Uranus and Neptune. It would have been so much better to have them on one single base as sort of a duo, rather than separately, but whatever. For the white of the bodysuit and the gloves, I had to buy a different brand, Pentart, instead of my usual Vallejo, because I used up all of my Vallejo for a different project. More on that later. This is a thicker paint, not really for something so fine like a figure painting, but thin enough made it work okay too. I was torn about the mirror. I've seen several concept arts and replicas on Google, with all of them looking a little bit different. Some of them had faint white oval-shaped marks, some don't, some only had Neptune's sign and nothing else, so it wasn't easy to decide which to follow. I also decided to add the mirror to the other side of the hand, extended next to her body, and not to the one at her chest, because the mirror would have blocked away so much of the figure's pretty face. So in a way, this figure is a bit customized, but I'm kinda fine with that. The eye decals were also transparent this time, which means that you have to paint the white of the eyeball to the face. But since there are no clear outlines on where the eyes go, it's really not an easy task. You just paint it and hope it's not way too far off. As for how to apply the eye decals, I have to redirect you to my dedicated video on the subject matter, as my camera battery died during the process, so I have no video about that, unfortunately. But here is the final look. It turned out decent, not as exquisite as I hoped it to be, but still looks neat together with Uranus. I have a Saturn figure from the same line, but I don't think I will paint it in the near future. I've done so many Sailor Moon figures in these outfits that I really want to try something else. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching it, and see you soon in the next one.